Hey, what's up? What's going on? It's your girl Mary Jane. Please like, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please share the video, and it'd be greatly appreciated as well. We are going to get into it. We're going to talk about Game of Thrones, Season 7, Episode 4. Let's go. So we start off with, Jaime and Bronn. They conquer, Lady Tyrell's house. They have the gold. They're getting ready to get the gold to Cersei so she can give the gold to the Iron Bank. And let's see what happens. So Cersei is talking to the guy from the Iron Bank, and he's like believing in her and everything, and he thinks that he's so surprised that Cersei is able to give the money and pay her debt, and pay her debt in full. And so he stood around for the 2 weeks, and so he's like, oh my God, you're kind of like better than your father. And Cersei's like, oh, thank you, my lord, thank you. He was like, I'm nor a lord, nor am I generous, nor am I a kind man. And so basically, they're having conversations where they have something in common. Since Cersei paid her debt, she's still going to need some money, and she's also going to need support, because Cersei wants to build her army, she wants to build her navy. And there's some things that Cersei want, and Iron Bank said, yes, we have people that go do these things for us, that collect money for us when they don't pay. And they're talking about the faceless God. So it's like it's a good scene where you see Cersei, that she feels like she's in control and she has everything, and she's just like saying, my brother's gonna bring the gold. My brother's bringing the gold to us, and matter of fact, he's in charge of the gold, and he's gonna be bringing it back. So you see where Cersei is just so happy, and she knows that she's winning at this time and point. But them focusing on her giving the Iron Bank the gold, and the Iron Bank talking about supporting Cersei and being on her side basically, and give her some allies, because they do have people, because people do owe them money and owe them favors. So it just makes you think that the money's not going to get there. It's like the way that they set up the scene, the way they talked about it so much, it just seems like it was never gonna, the money wasn't never gonna get there. So, and then we get to the scene where Bran, he meets up with Littlefinger, and he's talking to Littlefinger, and Littlefinger's trying to say that I loved your family, and all this other stuff. And Littlefinger's confessing that he wished he could have saved Bran's mother, and he wished he would have stabbed his own heart with that dagger, or stabbed to whoever with the dagger that he needed to, but he wasn't able to protect Bran's mother. So he offers a gift to Bran, and he offered Bran a sword, that dragon bone sword with Targaryen, well, not Targaryen, with the steel inside, Valerian steel. I'm just looking at some clips. It's not, the show.
The very question is what started the War of the Five Kings. The way that dagger made you, what you are today, forced from your home.
And Littlefinger's just talking about, I'm so sorry for what happened to you, forced from your home and all this other stuff. Bran is just sitting there. I'm waiting for Bran to like give some information. It's like, okay, Bran, Jon Snow's taking a long time to get back, so, can he sell to go to Jon Snow and talk to Jon Snow? Like, is that a possibility? Because Littlefinger's sitting here, but Littlefinger is scamming, by giving this knife and trying to confess how much he loves the Starks and all this other stuff. We know Littlefinger's two-faced. He's trying to cover every aspect. And plus, he knows Bran as the rightful heir, because he's a rightful lord of everything, that pertains to the Starks. So is, Littlefinger trying to get close to him because he's going to take him out? Who knows? And so Littlefinger said, I imagine you've seen things that people wouldn't believe. So Littlefinger understands the importance of Bran, but he knows that, Cersei doesn't understand the importance of Bran, because, last episode, Littlefinger was telling Sansa, that, you need to know everything around. You need to know war before it happens. You need to know losses before it happens. You need to be prepared for everything. You need to set up. You need to know everything that's going on, so that way there's no surprises to you. But Littlefinger is picking up on that Bran can see things, and he knows there's something unique about Bran, but he doesn't actually know exactly, or maybe he does. But Cersei knows that Bran is the three-eyed raven. So I don't know if she told this information to Littlefinger or not. And he's like, oh, make your way home again only to find such chaos. Bran don't give a shit. He's trying to get to Jon Snow and tell him what's going on. Littlefinger's trying to show that, I'm here to support you. I'm here with your family, knowing that he's part of the assassination of Bran's family. He is a slick snake. So I'm just looking at the clip. This is a leather.
Go through all of that. Make your way home again only to find such chaos in the world. You can only imagine.
This is a leather, or this is a lantern. But there's something important about that, because, Littlefinger and, Bran are looking at each other and say, this is a Lether or this is a Lannister. What the And then, Littlefinger's leaving and he goes, okay, bye, Lord, my lord. And then, Bran says, I'm not a Stark, I'm not a lord, because Bran is transforming into, the three-eyed raven, and he needs to talk to Jon Snow, because we all know Bran cannot stay in a place for so long. He needs to be mobile, he needs to move around. But the person that carried him around and got him to the north is leaving. She's bouncing, she's going back home, and she's disappointing that Bran is not more saddened, or he's not offering her anything or nothing. It's like she's gone, and it's like, okay, I guess that was Bran's past, and she's no more of use to him. So peace, deuces to her. Damn, that shit was fucked up. And to see her like ride through on a horse by herself to go back to where she came from is some bullshit. She's like, yo, my brother died for you. Bran is like, that's the part of the plan. But Bran says that he remembers so much else now. Like, he's picking up so much different things that, he needs to express these things quickly and in a hurry, or convince his family member what's going on, or at least let Arya know when he gets in contact with her, to let her know what's going on, because right now he's wasting time not being able to talk to Jon Snow. So in the meantime and in between time, why not talk to Arya? Why not talk to Sansa? Get them alone and tell them, like, these are our traitors, these are the enemies. At least let them know what's up with Littlefinger. And so then we see Arya. Arya comes to Winterfell, and the guards, mess with her, whatever, but they don't believe it's Arya. You know what I mean? That it's actually Sansa's sister. And they're saying Arya Stark is dead. Sir Roderick or Sir Mason Lewis. So when the guards go back and tell Sansa this, Sansa immediately she knows that it's her sister. And Arya could have killed them guards, but Arya does let her sister know that her guards ain't shit and she needs better guards. And so they're looking at the statue of, their father, whatever, and they're like, this doesn't look nothing like our father, and it doesn't. But then so Sansa says, our father, no one that remember what he looks like is alive. They're all dead. And so then Arya was like, we're alive. We remember what he looks like. We know what he looks like. And then they kind of like talk about the shit that they've been through, their travels. and the pain or whatever that happened to them. And they also still kind of like at the stage when they split up and they left each other, they did have a little bit of a confusion between each other, a little of a hiccup, because Arya was upset with Sansa because Sansa chose Joffrey. She wanted to be the queen. She lied for Joffrey, and she let and Sansa accused the meat man, the butcher's child, of doing wrong with the wolf, or doing something wrong. And so that hurt Arya, and Arya was like, why would you want to be the queen? Why would you want to marry him? Because they was on two different paths. So when they separated, they still had that tiff, but now when they meet now, you can see how they're both connecting with their spirits together to forgive each other for what happened, and to move forward. And then they realize they can trust each other, and you see Arya hug her sister, and she hugs her again as the conversation is ending, letting them. So now there is a trust built again between these two sisters that was lost for so long, because when they left on bad terms, so they didn't heal from them wounds, and so now they healed together, and this little moment that they did. But it would be nice if Bran was telling somebody some shit, or somebody was listening to Bran. And Arya's like, so your lady Stark now? She was like, yes, I am, because Sansa always wanted to be the queen. She wanted to be with the Lannisters at one point, and they hug each other. It's like they let go of everything, and they just make up. And so Sansa says you shouldn't run from the guards or whatever, and Arya's like, I didn't run. Them guards are idiots. You need better guards, And Arya's like, it suits you, Lady Stark, because that's where their mother was. And she's like, Jon left you in charge, so Jon's alive. She knows Jon's alive.
I hope he comes back soon. I remember how happy he was to see me, and when he sees you, his heart will probably stop. It doesn't look like him.
And so Sansa was like, oh, so what have you been up to? She was like, I kind of killed people. I got a list. She was like, when did you get back to Winterfell? It's a long story. It sure is. So they talk about how unpleasant their life was separated when their parents were murdered. But Arya goes, but our story's not over yet. We still have a future. So Arya, and then she hugs her sister again, because they really forgive each other. They're really happy to see each other, and there's no rivalry anymore. They understand one another. It's like they stare at each other. And so Arya was like, I got a list. I'm going to kill people. Half of them are already gone. But it also seemed that, Sansa wanted to make sure that she wasn't on that hit list. And I hope Littlefinger's on that hit list, or he's going to be added onto the hit list. And so they laughed because, Sansa doesn't really believe her sister is a killer, a warrior. And she was like, I was going to kill, the queen, Cersei. So then we get Bran. Bran is sitting somewhere alone and quiet when he needs to be running his mouth. He needs to be writing shit down, sending ravens everywhere, doing everything but just sitting there. Because he can't be in a place for too long, and Bran needs to give this information out. So anyways, Bran is sitting in the chair, and so Arya, she comes, and Sansa, they come to talk to Bran. And Arya hugs Bran or whatever. So 3 of them are together. Finally. And so, Bran was like, I seen you at the crossroad. I seen you with the many-faced god. You kill people. So did Arya die and come back alive? Or he just seen what she was doing with cutting up faces? But he seen her at the crossroads. And Sansa doesn't understand that.
You saw me.
And Arya's like, you saw me?
I see quite a lot.
He's like, I see quite a lot now, but please tell us what you do see so they can know what's going on.
Bran has visions.
So then Sansa's like, Bran has visions. Yeah, visions he's keeping to himself.
So did I.
Why would you go back there?
Cersei's got a list of names.
And so Bran confirms that his sister has a hit list of names. That Arya has a hit list of names, and so Sansa knows now that her sister is a killer. She's not the same anymore. She's a warrior. So that in my mind, I believe Sansa believes that that's a help. That, you know, that's a one up. That her sister's not a victim. Her sister, you know, she fought her way through. And Arya looks at Sansa, and Sansa looks at her like, Sansa's like, who else is on your list? Most of them are dead already. Hell yeah, they are. And then Sansa, she smiles because she's so proud that her sister's a warrior, that she's a fighter, something that she's not. So like as Sansa is smart and making plans and playing the mental game with people and playing mind games with people and tricking people in like conversations and picking up and reading things, that she got from Littlefinger. Arya is a warrior, so she got two warriors. She has, you know, Jon Snow, the brother warrior that fights the White Walkers, kill the White Walkers, and can travel and come back from the dead. And then you have Arya that's traveling all around the world killing people. So I wonder if Sansa would think that, you know, her sister killed Frey. So anyways, but you know, Bran knows that. So it seems like, you know, the three-eyed raven, which is Bran, like he is the warrior. I mean, he's the thinker. He sees things. He can help them with visions and what is coming before and what happens in the past. Because if you correct the past, you can correct the future, and things will be different. Then you have Sansa with her mind using her wit to maneuver her way through. So you got Sansa now as kind of a brain, and you got Bran that is the brain and the vision. And then now you have, you know, Arya that's a warrior, and Jon Snow that is a warrior, but he's also smart and intelligent as well. So is Arya.
What did you guess?
Littlefinger gave it to me.
He's here.
So Arya's like, Littlefinger gave this to you because Bran is showing the knife. And so, you know, Arya's like, Littlefinger, he's here, because she knows who Littlefinger is, because she remember when she was working for Tyrion, the father of Cersei and Jaime. She was you know, she was cleaning stuff for him or whatever, and she remember Littlefinger coming there to visit Tyrion. You know what I mean? So she knows who he is, and she knows that he is an enemy. And so she looks at her sister like, he's here. And so, you know, Sansa explains that, you know, he helped us in the war with the veil.
He's declared the House Stark. Why would he give you a dagger?
And so Sansa's like, why would he give you a dagger? Because we know if Littlefinger give you something, he wants something in return.
I want it
Why?
because it was meant to kill me.
He said that, you know, this dagger was meant to kill Bran.
Cutthroat.
Cutthroat.
After you fall.
Why would a cutthroat have a Valyrian steel dagger?
Why would a cutthroat have a Valyrian steel dagger? That's the question.
He's a generous man. He would give you anything unless he thought he was getting something back.
Doesn't matter.
What do you mean it doesn't matter?
Bran is like, it doesn't matter. He doesn't want it. He gives it to Arya, the dragonbone knife with the Valyrian steel.
It's wasted on a cripple.
He said it's wasted on the cripple. He ain't lying. And he knows what his job is. So I guess we're only going to see Bran talk and tell his vision when Jon Snow arrives back home. Hopefully Jon Snow arrives back home. But, you know, someone's watching, and you know who's watching him, Littlefinger. So you get, you know, you have, you know, Bran and you have Arya pushing Bran around in the wheelchair, and Sansa standing next to them. And so you have Bree, she's watching, but she's proud and she's happy to see that they're safe, but she doesn't want to take credit for helping them at all, and she feels like she did fail. And her handsman saying, you know, the Stark lady will be proud, and she doesn't want to take.
I'm not a
she doesn't want to take that she has something to do with these kids being alive, or she even helped, because she feel like she disappointed them. She disappointed, Mother Stark or whatever. So that's a close scene, and Littlefinger's watching, because he's watching how is he gonna get into the situation and break things up. And so, now we get to Daenerys.
What happened? Many things. Many.
So now Jon Snow wants to show, Daenerys the castle. Under the castle where the dragon glass is at, but the fire. So he's leading Daenerys through to see the dragon glass and see how beautiful it is. But there's also a message inside the castle, under the castle. And the message is the Starks and the Lannisters. But before the Starks and the Lannisters and the Targaryen, it was the children of the forest. And then the children of the forest did designs and things inside under the castle, whatever, where the dragon stone is at, or the dragon glass is at. And so you can see these beautiful designs and everything that the kids did. And so it's like Jon Snow and Daenerys are just talking, and she's getting to see that there was gods, and gods that actually was there at Dragonstone where the dragon glass is at, and they left messages. And so Jon Snow is gonna show Daenerys a message. They were here together. The children and the first men were here together. And so then he brings Daenerys closer so she can see what the hell's going on, and the message. And they fought together against their common enemy, which is the army of the dead, the White Walkers. So he's letting, Daenerys know what's going on, So, the first man and the children of the forest or whatever, they fought together against, the White Walkers and the army of the dead. And it's written on a wall, like if it was Egyptian time or whatever. It's almost like hieroglyphics on these walls or whatever. And so Daenerys now, she understands that Jon is actually telling the truth, that there is White Walkers. So she believes, but she still knows there's a war on hand. So they're gonna fight together. So they're gonna fight together. So they're gonna help each other. But, Daenerys wants Jon Snow to bow the knee. She wants him to bow the knee. And Daenerys is like, if you tell them, they will listen. They will follow you. So then now, as they're leaving the castle, so as Jon Snow is leaving the castle with Daenerys and Sir Davos and the Queen trusted advisor, there's Varys and Tyrion there to meet her, to tell her some information. We took Castle Rock, which Tyrion says. And, Daenerys is like, that's very good to hear. But Varys got his hand, he got his head down. He's just like, yo, I don't know. And they look at each other, Varys and Tyrion. And she was like, isn't it good to hear? Isn't it good? This shit was crazy, son. And Davos is like, yo, you guys need to discuss your problems among yourself. Me and Jon are just stay to the side and do our glass. Our dragon glass. And Daenerys is like, stay. All my allies are gone. So now she knows that her allies are gone. And she's like, they've been taken from me while I've been sitting here on this island because, Lady Tyrell has been killed. They have, Theon Greyjoy's sister. They have the Sand Lady or the Snake Lady and her daughter, which, Cersei has them and shit like that. But we're not going to get to the poison or them on this episode. And then, now she knows that, Cersei has the gold. She has the money to fuel her war. And so, Tyrion's like, you still have the largest army. We still have the largest army. And so, Daenerys is like, we won't be able to eat because Cersei has taken all the food. Because, Cersei's a bitch. And she was like, Tyrion's talking about Grey Worm and the Unsullied. So... So, Tyrion said we still have enough ships to carry the Dothraki to the mainland, and that's true. And Tyrion's like, we still have the right plan. We still have the right plan. We still can get this. And Daenerys is like, the right plan? Fuck the right plan. What are you talking about? He's like, your strategy has had us lost. We lost this, we lost that. So what are you talking about, Tyrion? And then Tyrion's like, if I have underestimated our enemies? And she's like, what? Yes, you have.
Your family,
you mean your family? Motherfucker, it's your family that we fighting.
Perhaps you don't want to hurt them after all.
Perhaps you don't want to hurt them after all. So, some people think that Tyrion is the snitch or the spy. Some people think Varys is the snitch. Some people think, her trusted advisor, the lady, they think that she's a snitch because they kind of throwing it towards her because they keep asking her questions about where she comes from, her childhood, things that she do. But we know once Varys was a spy. Is Varys still a spy? I don't think that she has any snitches on her team, Daenerys. I just think that they outsmarted Tyrion because they know him and he knows them. And Jon Snow is like, I'm in the midst of this shit. And so, Daenerys is accusing him of just of being, talking about he's so clever and all this other stuff. But me choosing you probably was a bad thing because your family knows you and knows how you think and how you want to attack. So even though you might not helping your family win, but you're it's kind of a weakness to have you because they're kind of outsmarting Tyrion because the family knows him. And Daenerys is like, I have 3 large dragons. Bitch, you better use them, please. I want to see her use the dragons. And she wants to go over there. And her enemies are in the Red King. And she said, who am I if I'm not able to risk my life for my people? And, Tyrion's like, it's a bad idea. It's not a smart idea at all. So then she asks Jon Snow, what should I do? She's like, I'm losing, Jon. I'm losing, baby. What do you think I should do, baby? They got some kind of passion, kind of chemistry going on that they might hook up later on.
I never thought that dragons would exist again.
Jon Snow is like, I never thought dragons would exist again, but now they do. He's like, the people that follow you know that you made something impossible happen. You brought dragons to life. You birthed dragons. You a bad bitch. And maybe that helps them believe that you can make other things possible because you're Daenerys, lady, the mother of dragons. Build a world that's different. And Varys is just looking at, Daenerys' trusted advisory lady like, bitch, I know you the snitch. If you use them to melt castles, this is what Jon Snow saying to Daenerys. You're not different. You're no different than whoever used to burn castles and shit. You're just more of the same.
The people who follow you know that you made something impossible happen. Maybe that helps them believe that you can make other impossible things happen. Build a world that's different from the shit one they've always known. But if you use them to melt castles and burn cities,
If you use them to melt castles and burn cities, you're no different.
you're just more of the same.
You're just more the same. And then, Tyrion is like, thank you, Jon Snow, for having my back. And, so Davos is like, yes, thank good. It's good because Jon didn't go against, Tyrion and say, oh, Tyrion had a bad idea, or you should go over there, you should do this. But what he does guide her with, he guides Daenerys with not burning up cities and not burning up buildings and not burning up innocent people. So that makes Daenerys thinks, I'm going to go right to where the war is, right where the army is, right where they are, and attack them there. And that way I won't be burning down any cities, I won't be burning down anything, and I won't be hurting innocent people or melting buildings. But what I will be doing is making the army fear me and not have the people fear me and thinking that I'm crazy and I'm just a fire person. So therefore Daenerys picks up on this, and she's going. And then also the Dark Drakians, they are able to fight better in open field. They're better in open field areas to fight instead of rushing a city. So right now she's thinking is finally Daenerys is using her brain and her dragons. Happy. I'm so happy. This is like the greatest episode. And then you see the dragons flying. And then we go to Bree. Bree is fighting with her hand. She's training him how to fight, and he's losing. He's getting his ass whooped. Bree, she's the woman, yo. She's the woman/man. And so then Arya comes to see Bree. You know what I mean? Because she knows who Bree is. She knows Bree is a warrior. She looked up to Bree for a little bit. And so Bree says, nice sword. These are some warriors right here, son. Very nice dagger. So she shows Bree the dagger. And then, Cersei is talking to Littlefinger, and they're walking through, and they're going to see these guys fight well trained. Arya's like, it's been a while since I trained. You didn't beat the Hound, but you did. She beat the Hound, and she wants to train with Bree. She's like, you beat the Hound. You're the best. You're the best. You the man. You the man / woman around this bitch. I like Bree too. So Bree was like, yeah, all right, we could do this. So her hand goes away. So now Arya is starting to train with Bree. She was like, I won't cut you with my sword. And Arya's fighting with one hand. And Bree's kind of shocked that, damn, this girl's okay, good. But Bree's not showing her everything. Yo, Arya's nice. Bree's nice. And Littlefinger sees that Arya could kill a motherfucker. So does Sansa. She knows her sister ain't no joke. Because we know Bree ain't no joke. I mean, this is like so great. And then Bree kicks Arya and she hits the ground. And then watch how Arya jumps up real quick. Like the mini-faced god told her how to jump up. And then she does, Then he swings that sword. Yo, this was epic. This was an epic episode. And they're fighting. And she drops her sword. Arya drops her sword and she grabs her dagger. And they both have the knife at their throat. Oh, shit was epic, son. And Bree's like, who taught you how to do that? And then, Arya says no one, and that's true because the many-faced God or the faceless God tells her that she was always no one. So she's telling the truth, no one. And they smile at each other, and she's proud of Arya. Very proud. So am I. I's proud. But Littlefinger is proud too. And then, Arya have eye contact with Littlefinger, but does Littlefinger remember that she was the girl that was taking care of Tyrion and the house, like she was cleaning and cooking? And so then Jon Snow and Sir Davos is still over there at the motherfucking Bloodstone, Dragonstone, where he needs to be back at home talking to Bran. So Davos like, you ain't Darius says, so what do you think about her? Jon Snow was like, oh, she has a good heart. And Sir Davos is like, you ain't been staring at her heart. So it's being evident that, they have some type of physical attraction towards each other. And Jon is just like, I saw the Night King, that's what counts. I don't give a shit about no breast. So Davos like, yeah, all right, keep bullshitting. And Jon is talking about he only got 10,000, and Sir Davos was like, you got less than that in your army. And so then they meet with the Queen trusted advisor. And she's like, and so the Queen advisor says, your name is Jon Snow, right? But your father's name is Ned Stark. And he's like, I'm a bastard. He said, my mother and father were not married. And so then, Sir Davos, so is the custom different from where you're from? We don't have marriages. The concept of bastard don't exist. So that means Jon Snow is the rightful king or the lord or whatever, because it doesn't exist where she's from. She's never heard of bastard. And so Davos says, that's liberating. It's like they don't trust her. And so, she says she was stolen away by slavers. That's good to know. And so then she also lets them know. It was like, oh, so ain't you a slave now to Daenerys? And she was like, no, I'm not a slave to Daenerys. I can leave anytime I want. I can get a ship and go. And it was like, oh, you really believe that? She was like, yes, I do. And Daenerys will let her go. In my opinion, Daenerys will let her go because Daenerys has to stand by her word that she's not owners of slaves. And if the word got out that she wouldn't let, her trusted advisor go if she wanted to leave, then the people would think they're in captivity again and certain types of form of a new type of slavery. So I believe Daenerys would let her go if she really wanted to, in my opinion.
All of us who came with her from Essos, we believe in her.
They believe in her, yep. Just like Jon people believe in him and trust him, they trust her, and like she said, they chose her as the queen. They chose her. So then there's a ship coming. The Greyjoy ship is coming. And Jon Snow looks at Theon. Theon just standing there like a custis. Theon looks like he's on heroin. Theon is like, Jon? Oh my God, this is so hard. I didn't know you was here, Jon. And Theon Greyjoy walks up to Jon. Sansa, he said, Sansa, is she all right? And then Jon grabs him. What you did for her is the only reason why I'm not going to kill you. And what I also believe by this, I believe if, you know, Theon is able to be around Jon Snow, I think Theon will get back to himself, because Theon is a character that really serves no purpose but being just, you know, wimpy or whatever. But if he would have got captured, it's possible that they would have killed him and his sister. So anyways, they believe that probably, you know, they get Theon or and the army is going to come and try to save his sister because she's captive. But what I do think is Jon Snow being with, you know, Theon Greyjoy, it's going to bring him back to where he was from, because Theon and Jon Snow was really close and really tight, because you remember Theon was kind of like kidnapped and raised as a Stark, but he was really, you know, a bastard or whatever, in their opinion. And so Jon Snow is a bastard, and you know, Jon Snow's mom or whatever was a bitch towards him or whatever. She treated Jon Snow like shit. And so they had that bond together, and they used to practice, they used to fight together, they used to play all types of games. So maybe this will actually bring Theon back to who he used to be, because Theon used to be a good fighter when he was training, and he was very smart. He was good with the slingshot, he was good with the horse and fighting. So maybe them coming back together is going to bring Theon back to who he was, because we know Theon was castrated, but maybe it would change his mental capacity to see someone that he actually loved and actually loved him in the past, in my opinion. Poor Theon, he's so custody. And so that was just looking like, we heard your uncle attacked your fleet. We thought you was dead. He goes, I should be, looking like, I swear he looks like alcoholic and a custody. He goes, your sister? Euron has her. And he's like, I came here to have the queen help me get her back. He wants his sister back. So basically, that was the whole plan for them not to kill the sister. And I think that's why Theon jumped into the water, because they wouldn't kill her if he wasn't there. And then he finds out the queen is gone. And we all find out the queen is gone, because I thought Daenerys was still there. So we get back to Jaime and Bronn. You know, Bronn is the man. Bronn is the shit. And so now, you know, they got the army. The army's chilling, relaxing, you know, fucking with the sheep, eating food. And Randall Tyrell, he goes and talks to Jaime and Bronn. We need to get the last of these wagons over the Black Border. And you know, Jaime's upset and mad, because now he finds out, you know, that Lady Tyrell actually, the Tyrell lady actually killed, you know, his son. So this whole time he was thinking Tyrion killed his son, but he didn't. So now all that hatred and all that madness that he had towards Tyrion was wrong and redirected, and how his son got killed. So he was really upset. It also seemed like Jaime might be switching sides, like he might go with Daenerys and Tyrion if he gets captured. So I don't know if he's going to get captured. I have a feeling either he's going to get captured or Bronn is going to get captured. And so now, you know, Jaime and Bronn, they ride the horses through where the war's going to be. So they're all sitting there talking. Rickon, you know, and Rickon, you know, Rickon is nice too now. Because he helps Jaime out too as well. And so you know, Bronn makes fun of his name. Sir Jaime, Rickon. It's Dickon. And he says it's Dickon. And so, you know, Bronn is hood. Bronn laughs, and Bronn is like, and Jaime says, I hear you fought brave. First battle? He was like, yeah. He was like, it was glorious. And so, you know, Brown is like, come on, your father's not here. Say something else.
Father's not here. All my life we've been blessed house, Tyrell.
And so Dickon, he doesn't really feel good about going against, you know, the Tyrell's house because they always pledge together. So he feels bad that he killed people that he once grew up with and fought with at the same time. So he's kind of like worried about the situation.
He's a good one. They didn't deserve to die. Lady Olenna chose to betray the queen.
And she said Lady Olenna chose to betray the queen, so the bitch had to die. For the Targaryen girl.
Didn't expect it to smell like that.
He was like, I didn't expect it to smell like that.
Men shit themselves when they die.
And then, you know, Bron goes, men shit themselves when they die.
Didn't they teach you that at fancy lad school?
He was like, didn't they teach you that at fancy lad school?
Well, I learned it when I was 5.
He's like, well, I learned it when I was 5. So it's funny. And Bron is the only one with sense. Bron is like, do you hear that? Do you hear something? And I was listening too. I was hearing something and I was like, it sounds like horses. I hope it's the dragons. And so it takes a little bit of time. So you just hear like the horses. I'm like, is it the dragons? Is it the dragons? All of a sudden you hear, you hear the dragons. I'm like, yes. Jamie turns around. This was an epic build-up. When Bron said, you hear something. Spears and shields. Line up, line up, line up. Spears and shields. Line up, line up. Shit's crazy. And it's like so crazy. They're all just lining up. And they don't know what to do. You just like Bron and Jamie and Randall, Samuel and Dickon. They're just like sitting there like, and all the guys are running to line up or whatever. They don't know what's gonna happen. They know that the way is going, the gold needs to be protected. The gold is gonna be gone, so that money's not gonna be going to the fucking Iron Bank. Cersei plan is over, and Jamie's just sitting there like, damn, he's on the battlefield, and it's like Jamie has to see this battle. Jamie has to see this war, so I think he's gonna really have a change of heart. And this was like an epic battle. You got the Dothraki, you know, coming, and this is how they fight. And they got the weapons. They like sitting up high on the horse. It's like they're almost on like motorbikes, and they got blades. And they're like sitting like this, woo, woo, killing, just beheading people. I mean, they got skills, son, skills. And you see all of them. It's like, damn, thank God. And it's like, I wish the narrator would have listened to the Tyrell lady, you know, and just came with the dragons. But this is even better because she listened to Jon, and she's making sure that she's not killing any innocent people. She's not burning down any buildings. And then you see all the horses coming. Then you see the dragons come. The dragons come. Oh. And then you see the dragon. Oh, God, I just love it. And then Daenerys is on the dragon like, yes. And she starts to set them motherfuckers on fire. Boom. Burn. Burn, motherfucker. Burn. Oh my God, this shit is so crazy. And you see all the guys just burning up. And Dickon, he's still alive. So we don't know who's going to be alive at the end. Well, we know, I don't know if Jamie's going to drown because, you know, Jamie got one hand. Can he swim with one hand? And I believe so. Or is Bron going to get caught? Either Jamie or Bron are going to get captured. If they get away, I would be surprised. You see the horses. The horses are just running away. The horses' wagons are burning on fire. And they're just going for it. And then it's like, boom. The Dothraki start killing them. Breaking out that line. Just killing them. Just killing them. They're just full force. They're sitting high up on the thing. They got the blades just going. Just slicing heads. Jumping off the horses and just stabbing people. And they can fight, man. And Jamie and Bron is just watching their men just get slaughtered. They're getting burned to death and they're getting killed. These guys are like standing up on the horses, holding the horses, directing them, and then shooting the arrows. Even though some of them do get shot, that's some brave shit right there. And then you can see all the fire just burning places. Daenerys, she's on the dragon, and she's looking where exactly to burn. Like, she's not just burning anything, she's burning what needs to be. She's burning all, like, their wagons, where the gold is at, where their food is at, things for them to escape. She's burning up, and the line of it, she's burning it up. Then her men are able to come. This is like epic. It's like, I can't believe this. And Bronn and Jaime are just looking. They don't know what to do, and they keep forming a line. Like, if I was on the Lannister side, you're talking about a line, I would be ghost. I would be going, I'm not going to be in your line. This is a dragon. And then here comes the dragon. They got all the arrows up, and Jaime and Bronn are just watching and looking at the dragon, because this is epic. And they see Daenerys. Daenerys is going down. And she's like, she got like skills, and she just starts burning up shit, burning up their I don't know, whatever in them drives, their food, their water, the gold. And these guys, and Jaime's watching these guys just die. So is Bronn. And then Jaime's telling, go over there and get the big slingshot thing. And then so Jaime goes, I can't do the slingshot, I only got one hand, so this is the greatest time to use the excuse to go over there. And then Jaime's fighting, and these Dothraki are going like this with their swords and hitting things. I mean, just killing the Lannister guys. Just boom, boom. Jaime's killing some people too. And they got the hooks. And Jaime's about to get killed. And then Dickon saves him. Dickon's the dude. Or I'm probably not saying his name right, Dickon, but he's the man. And then Bronn is the best. He's warring through. He's fighting these motherfuckers. He's fighting. He pulls out his knives. He's on these horses. He's a dirty, grimy fighter, just like they are. He's just going, and he's just riding, because he's gonna get to that. He's gonna get to the big ass slingshot. Then the Dothraki cut the leg of the horse, and then Bronn, he falls. He hits the ground. Then the money laying out. And then Bronn was talking about he wants this money, whatever. He leaves his money there, and he's running, and then he's seeing people die as he's running, stabbed to death, burning. He's pushing them out the way. Then he takes a sword out of a guy that has a sword in him for a weapon. Bronn knows how. Bronn don't want to die. Bronn does not. He wants to stay alive. That's why you gotta rock with Bronn, because Bronn wants to be alive. That shit is crazy, son. This was an epic episode. In my opinion, the dragon is fly right by Bronn, and he sees it. He can't believe it, but he's gonna stay alive. Bronn is not gonna die. And the wagon's coming towards him on fire with nobody dragging it. So Bronn actually gets away, and he gets to the slingshot. Only he could do this type of shit. And so the Dothraki comes into the area where the slingshot's at, and Bronn has a slingshot ready and kills him right on the point, just like nail him to the cross like if he's Jesus. This is crazy shit. This is crazy. This is epic, son. And then Bronn takes the tent down, and he gets the huge ass slingshot. Boom, boom, he's getting it together. And you can see Bronn. Bronn is like, I ain't gonna die. I'm staying alive. So Bronn deserves a castle, because nobody is nice like this on Jaime's side, in my opinion. Or I just like Bronn too much. And then you got Daenerys. She's on that dragon, just boom. And then now you see Tyrion. Tyrion walks up the mountain, and he's looking down, and he's seeing all the men being killed. And he's standing next to the Dothraki people. He's just watching these guys just get killed. I mean, the Lannister just get slaughtered. And so the directing guy said, your people can't fight. And so, Tyrion looks a little bit disappointed. Is Tyrion the snitch? But I don't think so. I just think it's bad strategy. And you can see the wagons just going through it, fire. And Jaime's like all confused. He's seeing everybody dying. Jaime don't know what to do. Jaime has only one hand. He see all his men getting killed, and this is not what Jaime wants. And now he's seeing and realizing how evil his sister is, and he's probably gonna trade sides. And then Daenerys is riding through with the dragon. That dragon is epic CGI. You can see the wings of the dragon, and then the dragon looking towards Jaime. Jaime's like, oh my god, the dragon's back. Daenerys is riding this motherfucking dragon, and she's burning. Even though we haven't seen her train with them, it's probably instinct because she's mad. She has the warrior, the vicious, the winning blood in her body, and the dragon is picking it up and saying, I'm a fight for my queen. I've been ready to kill you motherfuckers. Then Bronn got that slingshot ready. He shoots first and he misses, and Daenerys is like, oh shit. And then Tyrion looks up. He was like, oh my god. And then I don't know if Tyrion knows that Bronn is on a slingshot, because these Bronn and Jaime are like Tyrion's people. They're people. They saved each other's life plenty of times. And Bronn got that machine going, cocking that arrow. He's cocking that arrow, getting it going. And Tyrion is just looking at Daenerys on the dragon. He looks like he's in fear, terrifying. Like he doesn't know if he wants Daenerys to win. He doesn't want his brother to get killed. And I know he damn sure don't want Bronn to get killed. Tyrion. And so then, because only Bronn could shoot that arrow, and it works. He shoots the arrow at the dragon, gets him right in the shoulder on the right hand side, on the left hand side, and then the dragon, goes down, and Bronn is laughing and shit, and Bronn is getting ready to cock it up. So the dragon is losing control, is going down, but Daenerys is on top of the dragon, but the dragon still is protecting his queen. Because watch how the dragon goes down on the ground, and the way he puts his arm and stuff in the ground, he goes down slow. He's making sure his queen is protected, and Daenerys is fucking pissed, and she's looking at Bronn, and then destroy that slingshot, and Bronn runs on the ground. He's on the ground. He's just laying. He's looking up like, damn. He sees a horse. And so then the dragon is still flying, but he puts his arm down in the ground. He gets on the ground and lays like he's supposed to, so Daenerys will be safe, to make sure his queen is safe. So these dragons, to me, pick up the energy off of Daenerys. And so Jaime is watching Daenerys try to get that arrow out the dragon, and Jaime is looking, and so is Tyrion looking up from the mountain, and Bronn is on the ground and he's watching. And so Tyrion is saying, please Jaime, bounce, go away you idiot, go run you fool. So Jaime tries to go kill Daenerys or the dragon. He's going fast and he's riding his horse. And Tyrion's like, you fucking idiot. And Daenerys turns around and she sees him coming with the spear, and the dragon goes, blows the flame, but someone saves him and throws Jaime in the water. And I believe the person that saved him is Bronn. To me, that's the only person I think that could ride the horse and get there in time enough, jump on the other side, throw Jaime into the water and having him safe. But I don't know if he's going to be captured, or if he's going to get away, or is he going to drown. And the only person I think other than Bronn that could save Jaime is Dickon, or if it's Randall, Samuel's father. Oh my god, this was an epic episode. I don't even know, man. So Cersei owes money now to the Iron Bank. The Iron Bank is not going to get her money. So is the Iron Bank going to try to, go with Daenerys and put money in Daenerys' hands? Because, the guy from the Iron Bank was also saying that some of the people at the Iron Bank does not like Cersei, and they grew quite fond of her interest payments that she was paying. And so now she's seeing this war, and if Jaime doesn't come back, and, will Bronn be next to Cersei, and would Bronn take out Cersei, or would Jaime take out Cersei? And so this is crazy. Cause did Samuel's father, Randall Tally, did he get away? Did he go? And did Dickon, did he go? And is, because since Tyrion is watching from the mountain, will he send the guys to the water to get Jaime out and have him as a prisoner? What is going to happen? This is crazy. And now, Daenerys knows there is White Walkers, so she knows there's 2 wars that she do have to fight. So this is crazy. And if what is his name? Bran gonna be able to get to Jon Snow in time before something happens, because Littlefinger knows something's going down. He knows that these kids are being powerful, but the rightful heir to everything is actually Bran. And is if Bran gonna tell the secrets, or is, you know, Arya gonna tell the secrets? So we'll see what happens. This shit was crazy, son, crazy. And just to see, you know, Arya being able to fight, and Bree, you know, actually feeling good about fighting with her, and then seeing that Sansa and Arya coming close together, and hopefully, you know, Bran will find a way to communicate with Arya. If anything, you know, we see Arya pushing Bran around in the wheelchair. Will she be bringing, you know, Bran to Jon Snow? Because she can fight, she's a warrior, and she has traveled across many miles and oceans to get around, and she can protect him. Because is that why he let the girl that usually carry him around go? But it doesn't seem likely that Arya will be, you know, carrying a cripple around, you know. But Arya has changed, but it's like Arya is determined to kill the people on her list. And so what is Littlefinger going to do? What does that sword mean, with Littlefinger giving it to Bran and then Bran giving it to Arya? Did Littlefinger already know that Bran was going to give that sword to somebody else because he can't use it because he is crippled? So, and Sansa thinking, you know, there's something with that. And so the Iron Bank might, you know, either fund Cersei or turn on her. And Cersei kind of is almost like defeated in a way, but we know Cersei also always have something up her sleeve. But I think Jaime seeing this war, finding out that, you know, Tyrion didn't kill his brother, I think Jaime's really gonna have a change of heart towards, you know, Cersei, and he might get caught, and he might see these dragons and be like, I'm gonna go with the dragon lady. And Bran, what about Bran? Is Bran gonna go with the dragon lady, or is he gonna go with whoever pays him more? So Bran, you know, chose his life over the money, and so we'll see, because, you know, Bran wants a castle. And I think, you know, Theon and Jon Snow are going to do something marvelous, really good together. So anyway, peace. I'm out. Please like, subscribe. It'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks.